to Chapter 2.3, Extra Practice, Detailed Answer Keys. This is a video explaining all the work that you will see in the problems. So it says solve the inequality, graph the solution. So we look and see what is happening to the variable. The variable is being multiplied by 6. The inverse operation would be dividing by 6. And we get x is less than -5. And then we are going to graph those solutions. There are an infinite number of solutions, so we can't write each of the solutions down. So the way that we represent all of those solutions is we graph them. We do an open circle because we are not going to include -5 is not a solution, but everything infinitely close to -5, like 5.1 and -5.1, -5.00001, but infinitely close to -5 will give me a solution. So we give an open circle that says not including -5. So we want values that are less than -5, not including -5. Again, we are going to use the inverse of multiplying by 16, which is dividing by 16. 16 goes into 48 3 times, and this time the variable is on the right. So it is in our best interest to have the variable come first. The reason is because we want it to read as the solutions. The solutions are greater than or equal to 3. So this time we can include the border, or 3, and then we want values that are greater than that, greater than or equal to it. So you don't have to rewrite it. If you understand 3 less than or equal to f produces values that are greater than or equal to, you don't have to. This is a great one. We're going to multiply. Anytime a fraction is multiplying our variable, we can use the inverse operation of multiplying by a fraction, which is multiplying by its reciprocal. We're going to multiply by 7/3. We're not going to multiply 7 times -6 to get -42, and we're not going to multiply 3 times 7 to get 21. We are going to cross cancel. It is way more efficient to cross cancel. And so we would get -2 is less than or equal to f. We don't flip this inequality sign because we didn't multiply both sides by a negative. So we're going to leave it like that. We're going to include -2 as our solution, and my answers are greater than. So notice that I did not rewrite that because I didn't need to. I can read that problem. So now we're going to divide by -4. Since we divide both sides by a negative, that's like moving the variable across the inequality. Since we're not moving it physically, we have to move the inequality instead. So instead of it being greater than or equal to, it's now going to be less than or equal to. And a negative divided by a negative is positive. 16/4 leaves us with 4. Closed circle going to the left, less than. Number 5, the reciprocal is -6, and that leaves us with x. We multiply both sides by a negative, so we have to flip it. 3 is in the denominator, 6 is in the numerator, and we get -2 again. This time, open circle over -2 because it's not equal to, and we're going to go less than. So if we can cross cancel or reduce that, we're going to do it every time. Reciprocal of -1/4 is -4. You don't need to write -4/1. -4 is the same. So we get -4 is greater than or equal to y. We had to flip the sign because we multiplied both sides by a negative. We find -4. It's going to be a closed circle because it's equal to, and it's going to be less than. Because if we read our solution, it looks like that. We are not going to divide by 4. Now this isn't, the coefficient isn't a fraction, but we are multiplying. We're going to have to multiply by a fraction. So it is in my best interest to multiply by the reciprocal. And again, we're looking to see, can I cross cancel? And we have a -1. This ends up being 1. So we get -1/6 is greater than x. So lots of things to remember. Sorry, 2 negatives make a positive. Mr. Mac, good catch, thank you. So 1/6, we have an open circle, less than going to the left. But there were a lot of things moving around, so much that I missed the negative times the negative. Here we go again. We have a fraction. Let's do -5/4. -5/4. The 4 in the denominator is going to cancel with the 4 in the numerator. 2 in the denominator, 1. Those two negatives are going to cancel to make a positive. And we get x is less than or equal to 5/2. Closed circle, going to the left. You don't have to convert it into a mixed number if you don't want to, or a decimal. You can leave it as an improper fraction. Number 9, you're planning a vacation. I like vacations. I'd like to go on a vacation. The vacation costs $513.60. You have 6 months to save for the vacation. Describe how much money you need to save each month to pay for the vacation. So it is going to have to be 513.6 is my money divided by W. Oh, that's how some of you must be less than or equal to 6. Now, that's probably one way that somebody might write it, but that variable in the denominator might, Mr. Mac would do it that way. Or if we have 6 weeks, that needs to be that amount of money, 6 times W, not W, it wouldn't be W, it would be money. How much money you need to save per week. We probably wouldn't use, because weeks is 6, so not W. M, money, how much money? Yeah, so that actually probably wouldn't have done this first one. Probably would be 6 times the amount of money you want to save per week or months. Aha, there it is. How much money you want to save per month must be more than $513.60. That's probably the best one. So if we divide by 6, we get M is greater than or equal to 85.60. So we would have to save at least, the least amount is $85.60 or more per month. You need to save at least $85.60 a month. So M is month. I don't know why I didn't do that. That was weird. Weeks. Where did weeks come from? All right. Number 10, you have less than 1 hour and 20 minutes to solve 8 riddles. Describe the number of minutes you have to complete each riddle. Number of minutes, so I have to take 1 hour and 20 minutes is equal to 80 minutes. That's 60 minutes plus 20 minutes, which equals 80 minutes. And so if I have 80 minutes and I have 8 riddles, how much time per riddle do I need to? So I have to be less than, that time has to be less than 80 minutes. So that would be my equation that I would do. Time, T is the number of minutes per riddle, and I have 8 riddles. So I have to solve it in less than 10 minutes per riddle. $10 minutes per riddle. I'm not so good at riddles. I don't like riddles that much. I like some games, but I don't like riddles. Riddles tend to sort of wrap my head a little weird. All right, use technology to verify your answer. Well, let's first of all solve the answer. So we say that D is less than -35. So if we wanted technology to to verify my answer, if my solutions have to be less, so I would take technology and I would take a number that is less than negative 35, like, I don't know, negative 40, and plug it in, and that is a true statement. Negative 7 is greater than negative 8, so I know that this is true, right? I plugged in negative 40, that's true, and then I would try 35, and then maybe even 30, and you'd get true, false, false. You get false for 35, you get false for 30, so plugging in and doing math, I guess? I don't know. That's how I would use technology. We're going to divide by negative 3, and we get negative 2.7 over negative 3 is greater than or equal to b. I'm going to move that decimal point. I'm going to simplify, and when that decimal point's right there in 3, and I'd move it, so this now becomes 27 over 30. The two negatives cancel to make positive. Now I can simplify this fraction a little bit. I know that 9 goes into that. 9 goes into it 9/10. Right? 9 goes into 27, or yeah, 9 goes into what? 9 doesn't go into this. 3 goes into 27 9 times. 3 goes into 10 30 times. I knew it was something like that. I knew 9 was coming somewhere around there. My brain was not talking. So we can, if we want to look at those solutions, that's 9/10, and we can, it is a closed circle going to the left, so I can pick solutions, so we can plug in 0. Does negative 2.7 less than or equal to negative 3 times 0? Negative 2.7 less than 0? Yes, it is. That's true. So we know that is true, which makes sense because these are all the true values of the shaded ones. If I plug in 9/10, I should get true. If I plug in 1, I should get false. Excuse me. You bike for 2 hours at a speed no faster than 16.8 miles per hour. The bike portion of an Ironman triathlon is 112 miles. You want to complete the bike portion in less than 6.5 hours. If you continue to bike at that same speed, will you reach your goal? So I have a total distance of 112, and I need I'm riding at 16.8 miles per hour, and I am gonna, let's do T, or H, T. So I've already ridden for 2 miles, or 2 hours at 16.8, and I gotta know how much more can I ride in order to do the bike portion, so in less than 6.5 hours. Okay, so in less than 6.5 hours. Well, let's see. So what are my solutions, right? That'll give me, so 112 is 16.8t, 16.8 times 2 is 33.6 minus 33.6. That gives me 78.4 is greater than or equal to x. So I need to be, sorry, not x, 16.8t, not even doing x's. Divide by 16.8. We divide, we get 4.6 repeating is going to be t. So my time, so in order to do it in those constraints, my time needs to be 4 2/3 hours. 4 2/3 hours or less. So if you continue to bike, will you reach your goal? So you want to complete the bike portion in less than 6.5 hours. If you continue to bike at the same speed, will you reach your goal? Ah, so if it took 4.6 to t, so 4.6 repeating plus 2 gives me 6.6 repeating hours. So, ooh, that's so close. I did not finish it in less than 6.6. So I'm going to have to go faster than 16.8. That would take me, if I went 16.8 for this amount of time, then, right, that wouldn't do it. I would have to go faster. And if you want it right, so we could have also done 4.5 in there. T, is that going to be less than or equal to, you'd have to subtract some mileage because you would have to do this times this and subtract it from 112 minus 16.8 times 2. So that would greater than or equal to 4.5 t. I think would give you the same thing. It would tell you what your time, and then it would still be no. No, you can't do it, and that you will not be able to reach your goal. A state park employs 60 people to maintain the park. At least 39 of the employees work full-time. Describe the fraction of employees who work part-time. Okay, so if there's 60 and 39 are full-time, so that would give me 21 are part-time, and 21 out of 60 employees. So, describe the fraction of employees who work part-time. That would be 21 over 60. 21 over 60 can be reduced. I know 3 goes into that. 3. Let's go back to 3. 3 is 7/20ths. Yeah, so I mean, at least the smallest part. So part-time workers are going to be, part-time workers are going to be less than 7/20ths, less than or equal to 7/20ths. So we can have no more than 7 out of 20 employees, but I know it's out of 60, so it's really 21, but it wants you to describe the fraction of employees. So that work part-time, 7/20ths of an employer, 21 out of 60. Either one's okay. I'm going to give a little flexibility to that. Okay, that was 2-3. Enjoy.